The Objective News Network, the Perpetual Circle of Terror. Hello, this is John Hnatio reporting for the Objective News Network. It was about 6:30 in the morning when the sirens began to blow as Hamas missiles flew over Tel Aviv on Saturday. Meanwhile, Hamas militants from the Gaza invaded Israel by land, sea, and air, with some using paragliders. The Israeli Defense Force said about 2,200 rockets were fired at Israel. Hamas put the figure at about 5,000. The announcement of another major war between Hamas and Israel apparently came as a complete surprise to both Presidents Biden and Netanyahu. Difficult to believe, but true. At least apparently true. The Hamas incursion was a highly complex operation requiring the type of coordination and warning signals that highly sophisticated Israeli and U.S. intelligence organizations are supposed to detect very early in the planning process. About a week ago, Jake Sullivan, President Biden's national security advisor, said in a media interview, and I quote, "The Middle East region is quieter today than it has been in 2 decades," close quote. But the real truth of the matter is not so. The Gaza Strip and the entire Palestinian question has been boiling for decades, with sporadic bursts of violence followed by retaliatory Israeli strikes. But on Saturday morning, it boiled over the top. The volcano, as to be expected, finally went off. The major media has done a good job of reporting the tactical situation on the ground in Israel and will continue to do so until things cool off a bit and it's no longer the hot story of the day. So today we are going to focus our short time together only on why the Biden White House yet again was the victim of yet another huge intelligence failure on its own watch. We started by taking a fast look at the national security record of the Biden administration. What we found was a very long laundry list of things that raised serious concerns about the national security posture of the United States, all the way from President Biden's national security strategy, or NSS, to our senior intelligence and military leaders, right down through the entire chain of command. Much of what we found reflected a naive and dangerous Pollyannish view of the world and how it really works, arising from the generalist theme of a moral democratic West led by America and her allies against the rest of an unethical autocratic world led most prominently by Russia and China. The NSS is the master strategy document in our government that is supposed to guide how the nation will protect itself from foreign threats. But the Biden administration document contains largely platitudes that say over and over again how deeply the United States is dedicated to freedom, democracy, and respect among the different nations of the world. Certainly, very nice things to say. However, nice words do not always work in the real world of geopolitical competition. All of this in the midst of a list of very real near and midterm challenges we face in today's world, based on both factors that we may not be able to control and factors that we ourselves have caused, based on naivete and plain bad decision making. Things like the migrant crisis at the border, that's allowing foreign operatives from Middle Eastern terrorist countries and Chinese spies to enter the country virtually unimpeded. Russia's covert support for the Taliban, the Afghan withdrawal, and the China weather balloon fiasco. The payment of a $6 billion terrorist ransom to Iran, a North Korean nuclear and missile program that continues to grow unimpeded, the Nord Stream 2 pipeline fiasco, where the President of the United States did a flip flop on the world stage, first endorsing its continued construction and then doing something completely else. Then tapping the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, something that is supposed to be used to support a national war emergency, but was depleted as a political maneuver to lower gas prices at the same time the same administration was taking actions to curtail the development of new, cheaper sources of oil. A contradiction for sure. The overreaction to the actual threat posed by the January 6th insurrection to create political furor largely for political furor's sake, an administration directed move to a new type of woke military, along with the dangerous decline in military recruitment and the quality of the warfighters we all depend on to protect us. The U.S. failure to keep pace with communist Chinese military spending, an exploding national debt that is out of control, a defense industrial base plagued by supply chain deficiencies and outright mismanagement, a decline in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, STEM, education, something that is so critical for the future national security. And then there's raging violence and homelessness in major cities across the nation, policies leading to inflation, and the list of dangers to our national security that are not being effectively addressed continues on and on. When you have strategic platitudes that are not accompanied by achievable near, mid, and long term tactical and strategic accomplishments, you end up being confronted with a hit or miss ineffective method to achieve national security. And hope is not a method. If you play checkers when you should be playing chess, you will lose every time. Saturday's attack on Israel is a great example, a very tactical problem that requires more than just strategic platitudes to fix. But the answers really aren't that hard. First, you don't ever screw up in front of the whole world like the administration and our senior intelligence and military leaders did in Afghanistan. If you do screw up, expect to be fired and face a court martial if you're in the military. Second, when you know Russia is providing covert aid to the Taliban and in turn to Hamas, at least be aware of it and try to do something to stop it. Third, when you know that Libya, Syria, and Iran are the ones providing the Palestinians with the resources they use to construct thousands of missiles in the Gaza Strip that they then shoot to kill Israelis, then do something to break up the supply chain and then destroy the factories in the Gaza Strip where the missiles are being produced. Fourth, don't ever give $6 billion to a known sponsor of international terrorism like Iran. Fifth, don't ever put the United States in the position of paying the Iranian Syrians and the Libyans and the Palestinians to build thousands of missiles to destroy Israel. If you do, they'll soon come after us right here at home. It is what it is. This is John Hnatio reporting for the Objective News Network. Please tell your family, friends, colleagues, and followers about us. Please subscribe. We'll see you the next time.